3000.
What is doing? My name's Maloney. This is the 3000 podcast. I'm joined today by a visiting guest all the way down from the QLD. Timos, thanks for coming, man.
Nah, thanks for having me, man. No, I appreciate it.
You're all the way down from the QLD?
That's right, man. Down here in filtered sunshine and colder weather.
Yeah. Well, the weather has turned it on a bit today. It's nice.
It's actually really nice, man. I expected it to be a lot colder, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, but that's no... Yeah, I'm in that a lot.
Yeah, well, I'm the same. Yeah, I'm not suffering too bad, you know.
Times.
Yeah.
So what brings you to Melbourne for this visit besides doing this podcast, man?
This visit, man, just work. Working with a few fellas, Coloured Noise, Split Figures, Mammoth, just coming down and, making the most of, a bit of time off work and, really trying to, crank out a couple of new projects we're working on and, work on some tunes.
Working on that music stuff.
That's it, man. Always. Doesn't stop.
So let's dive into your story, man.
Yeah, right.
Let's go deep.
Yeah, yep. How deep are we going?
We're going to go back of where you found music, and then let's build from there, man.
Yeah, right. Man, music was any sort of music was very far and few between for myself when I was younger. I grew up in central Queensland, so I'm not originally a Brissy boy. Mm-hmm. Town called Blackall. So
mining place? What's there?
Nah, just basically rural. So country, like
farming,
cattle stations, farming. Yeah, town of 1,000 people population. Like I had 3 kids in my grade.
Wow.
Yeah, like my mum didn't even really listen to music. My old man was always on the country stuff and the standard rock, AC/DC, Eagles, So hip hop was pretty sparse where I was growing up, man. Yeah, I got more into the Metallica, the Nickelback. Gonna have to throw that. Yeah,
because you can only listen to what you can only consume what you can hear.
And we didn't have a music store. And I didn't have the internet till I'm not that old. I was of the generation of the internet, but we didn't really have good internet until I was sort of around 13, 14 years old. Uh-huh. But yeah, the only real hip-hop, the first hip-hop I remember is on Rage and So Fresh CDs that were sold at the BP.
Wow.
Yeah. Summer hits CDs, like the compilation CDs that you're getting from, BP.
Yeah, so you get that, and which is just like fucking Nikki Webster, Spice Girls, and then you might get one
Yeah, maybe like a Nelly or something, 100%.
This is the shit.
Yeah. Honestly, probably the earliest I remember that really stuck with me was seeing footage on Rage of Kid Rock rocking at what was that festival in '88? It's like bon da da don da dang da dang diggy diggy.
Oh yeah.
And he comes out on stage, he's wearing the fur coat, he's got a staff, he's wearing a top hat, and I was like, holy shit. This guy is fucking cool.
Lollapalooza.
Yeah, something. They made a documentary on it.
No.
Woodstock.
Woodstock.
Yeah,
99.
Woodstock. Yeah, man. I seen that and I was like, holy shit, I want to be that dude. I was like, yeah, that's crazy.
Right. So it's so interesting because with your age, you'd think that hip hop's around, but when you're central Queensland,
yeah, man, we didn't really have it especially Australian hip hop. I didn't come across Australian hip hop, so Australian hip hop come to me a lot later than what it did to a lot of heads. I got sent away for school. There's not too much opportunity in Blackall, so I got sent away for school to Toowoomba, biggest inland city in Queensland. Uh-huh. And I started going to school there, and I'm hearing, a lot of the more radio-friendly guys, and it wasn't really my thing. I'm hearing a lot of Pez 360. No hate, but I probably shouldn't have said that.
The Triple J sort of stuff.
Yeah, the Triple J sort of stuff. The stuff they're getting played on Channel V and stuff.
And that's national as well.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're getting a lot of airtime at the time, and I'm obviously hearing Cursor, but I really sort of fell in love when I started hearing stuff like Kings Connected, Trem, and that all comes through mates that wrote. Mm-hmm. And that was sort of through, probably a lot later than a lot of dudes, but coming through my mid-teens, 15, 16, 17.
Uh-huh. So Toowoomba is not Blackall, where you're from.
No, it's not. No.
So there's still, when you say writing, there's still that's not a city. So there's people are just interested in that culture.
Yeah, definitely. So there was still a lot of writers around Toowoomba, but we didn't have passenger trains. It was all just coalies. We got a coal yard in Harlexton there, and all our riders were coalie riders.
Yeah.
A lot of boys were doing trips to Brisbane and smashing trains in Brissy, but that was like I was never sort of around that type of thing. But that was what introduced me into like the Australian hip hop that I loved. The Lazy Greys, the Taunts. The people that I grew up listening to and fell in love with.
So you're at boarding school there?
Yeah, so I was in boarding school up until grade 11 and then got a bit of a boot in the ass and got shifted out of there.
But so you're at boarding school, you haven't heard much hip hop. You haven't
Not
heard
at all,
Aussie
man.
hip hop.
Yeah,
and
not
so you're
really.
just kicking back with your mates.
Yeah, man, I was
they're
listening to a lot of American stuff, like as you do growing up. Like I was going through a lot of, I'm listening to the Big L's, I'm listening to, Biggie, Puck, a lot of, Wu. And that's sort of what I was listening to until I realised there was actually a substantial, Aussie scene at the time,
Uh-huh. Do you
Uh,
remember what that introduction was specifically? Do you remember the first song you heard?
Yeah,
where you're like,
yeah, man, yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah, Corrupted Citizens.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then something clicked and you're like...
I think I went like 2 years without listening to anything out of Australia. And there was only like 3 albums that I was really rinsing. I was listening like strictly Kings Connected, Trem, Lazy, banned in Queensland for the Term Is Natural Life, and yeah, but like pretty well all the Taunts' discography, man, like that. Yeah, Ken Oath. I was a massive Ken Oath fan. Mm-hmm. Just to hear the Aussie accent, I was like, "Wow, right, okay," and there was no catering to conform to a bigger market to try and break an American market or. Mm-hmm. It was just raw. It was just raw.
Yeah, the authenticity is there. It's like, this is how it is. This is how we make it, and we're not changing it for anybody.
Yeah,
it's exactly how it is.
That's right. And that's why I like, because I come from this, like the Metallica, like it's that fuck you attitude. It's like, this is what we're doing. Like, you don't like it, stiff up a lip, get on your bike, move out.
Stiff up. Let's see. That's a throwback to AC/DC.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. Yeah.
But what's fucking really interesting about that sort of Aussie rock stuff, and AC/DC doesn't get much more Aussie rock than that, right?
Yeah.
They still, well, obviously the early stuff, he's got a Scottish accent, but with a lot of that sort of even AC/DC period stuff, you don't hear a full blaring Aussie accent. It's kind of that rock and roll kind of whatever.
Yeah,
could be
most
English,
definitely.
it could be American, or it could be Aussie.
Yeah, 100%.
When you hear Aussie hip hop, it's Australian.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. Yeah, that's right. And it's unapologetic, and a lot of people don't like the Aussie accent, but I think, yeah, man, you gotta wear your heart on your sleeve. You gotta be who you are, to the core, and especially if you're expressing yourself. I like music with a lot of emotion in it, and people put themselves into their music, and you gotta put where you're from into your music.
100%, man. I agree. I've had that conversation with so many people when I was younger, and I'm a fair bit older. But I'd be with dudes and we're listening to hip hop, and I'd put on Aussie stuff, and they're like, "Oh man, I can't deal with the Aussie accent." I'm like, that's how you sound. This is how we sound.
That's right. It's almost like
get used to it.
Is it like an internalized hatred that we have for ourselves? We should be proud of who we are, how we sound, because unfortunately, I don't see it changing anytime soon. We should be comfortable in our skin.
Yeah, for sure. The other side of it is, though, when you're watching like an American TV show and you hear someone with an Aussie accent, and it is a bit jarring. You're like, oh, fuck, that guy's fair dinkum.
That's fair dinkum, mate.
But it does count. And I think a lot of people, when they hear those sort of hip hop beats and then they hear the Aussie accent, they're just not prepared for it, it's not what they're used to.
Yeah, most definitely. And I was talking to a homie the other day. It's almost like, can you imagine what the conversation would be like if we didn't have access to the American market and we come across hip hop on our own? We would have our own culture. There would be none of this, because we consume so much international media. We relate a lot to the UK, not so much to America, but America is where we consume majority of our pop culture from, Yeah. And if we never had the opportunity to be indoctrinated into that sound, I feel like we wouldn't have that not hatred, but like that discomfort with our own sound, because it would be all that we know, I suppose. But
yeah, it's really interesting how everything else that is American born can then be adopted into the Australian way when it comes to pop culture, skateboarding, country music, rock music.
That's
But when it
right.
comes to hip hop,
Well, it even happens a little bit with country music singers too. I'm not big into country. I grew up on it. It's not really my type of music. But even with Aussie country music singers, you hear a lot of Aussie country music singers will sing with an American twang to sort of, and it sounds, it's strange. You compare it in hip hop, we say it's not authentic, and then when it comes to country music, people will go, oh, well, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting, but I suppose. I don't know. It's a debate that everyone has their own standpoint on it. But for me personally, I like to see Aussies sounding like Aussies.
I 100% agree. And I think hip hop is a culture that's built on being yourself. And if you can't be yourself through your music, unless there are caveats to that, I will correct myself. Some people want to get into a persona and this is how I do it and I do it in this vibe. And if you're going to do that and you're going through character-based stuff, cool, that's your thing. But I think if you're going to tell stories about where you're from and what you're about and what you've seen, then you need to speak in your own native tongue.
Yeah, most definitely. And like you said, if someone's an entertainer, if you're an entertainer and your purpose of, you're not so much doing storytelling or talking your story, you're making music and it's theatrical or whatnot, by all means. But I think that's, when it comes to, if you're telling your story and you're being who you are, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, for sure.
But no hate though, man.
No, definitely not. Definitely not, man. 100%. If I'm wasting my time worrying about what someone else is doing, I'm not busy enough.
That is the thing in this country, man. Tall poppy syndrome's a real thing, isn't it?
Yeah, most
People
definitely.
hate on shit for no reason.
I know. And I mean, I think it's because we have a lot of people doing it and it's still a very small developing scene. There's not a great deal of opportunity. So when someone gets a little bit of a crack at something and it's not exactly someone's flavor or it's not the flavor of the month or, people are quick to be like, fuck that guy, fuck what he's doing. That's not right,
It's bigger than rap though. This
it
is
definitely
a problem
is.
that
It happens
we have in
everywhere.
the country.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. And, there's been a lot of conversations had about it. I don't know what the answer is. I don't think anyone knows what the answer is. It's because it's been going on for a long time. I don't know how to conquer it. I don't have,
I think it's a problem that Australian culture has in general, that we hate on other things. Anyone who's more successful, and when I say we, I'm talking about the greater, every fucking body.
Most definitely, yeah.
But people hate on something if it's gone beyond where they're at.
Yeah.
And that's just how you do it,
Most definitely. And even in terms of, say, like, love for people showing love, like, I always feel like your hometown is going to be the last town that falls in love with you musically.
Always.
Like, they want to see you want to grow not internationally, but interstate, or like if you're watching your demographic with your music and where it's being listened to, I feel like the hometown's always the last place to fall in love with you because
they'll be the first ones to
they
tell
know
you're not doing the right job.
That's exactly right, But I don't feel that way anymore. But definitely when I first started out, I had a lot of mates when I was making music early, and I'm going, oh yeah, man, this is my new song, check it out. And they're going, oh, this is sick. And then I'm only putting stuff out on SoundCloud, and I'm watching the numbers, I'm flicking through, and because I'm only getting 2 plays every month, I can see who the plays are. I'm like, my mates told me these are sick, but they're not listening to them,
Oh, really?
So I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's not sick, But like, oh, yeah, no, that's good, man, that's good, But like, everyone has to learn. No one's born a good rapper. Everyone starts shit.
Yeah.
Same with writing. Everyone's a toy. Everyone starts off a toy. That's,
But the thing is, I find with Australians, right, is they're quick to shut down before they big you up. Like, your friends are going to go, that's sick, right?
Yeah.
But the same dudes at school or from your hometown that you gave a CD to or that said, oi, can you believe he's rapping? Will be the first ones next time you see him, they go, man, that's sick. You're on the bill with Posse Shot, or you did this or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Once you get a little bit of validation, they're on board. But before that, people are like, man, what's this guy doing? I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah, 100%, man. No, definitely. And I feel like, too, like, I think because it's quite a big thing for Aussies to take on creative pursuits. It's not a big thing in Australia, and maybe that's because it's out of the norm. Melbourne's especially, or you can even draw the comparison between Brisbane and Melbourne. You know, if you're a rapper in Melbourne, you can talk to people that don't listen to rap in Melbourne. And because it's such a creatively diverse community, there'll be people that don't listen to hip hop and they're like, oh, cool, you make something, that's awesome. Like, and they're open to the idea.
Yeah,
whereas,
my mate's a rapper, you know them and you just have a chat. Yeah.
That's right. Whereas, say, somewhere that's a little bit probably behind the ball, say Brisbane, a little bit more...
closed-minded.
Or even just a couple of years behind in the progression of, artistic sort of culture.
Yeah.
You can say, he's a rapper. Like, and he makes rap music? Really? Like, he's a rapper. Does he think he's a rapper or is he a rapper? Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
You really need to get the runs on the board, and then those people that were initially hating on you or not giving you the love, then they come. Look, it happens with this podcast, even, man.
Yeah, definitely. Same thing. It's a creative endeavor. Yeah, that's right. So, you're a podcaster. You think you're Joe Rogan, like?
and then the same dudes will message you like, "Oh man, can't believe you spoke to Trem. That's sick. Oh, like you should talk to this person." I'm like, "Hey, weren't you the dude saying, oi, your podcast was a shit idea?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Same thing would happen with the rapping.
Yeah, exactly right, man. Like, it's universal with creative endeavor. People are scared to go and, people are scared. They don't want to put themselves out there. You just got to have thick skin because at the end of the day, that person's probably just got some bullshit internalized where they wanted to go pick up a skateboard or a push bike or a microphone or a set of decks, and they were too intimidated to do it. They didn't want to be shit. You got to start shit. Everyone starts shit.
That's it, man. And then they hate on other people that have actually given it a crack.
Yeah, that's right.
Deep down, they're like, fuck, if I had tried, I could have been successful, but I wasn't, and I didn't. So now I'm going to hate on other people. Yeah,
for sure, man. Like, that's why I don't have an opinion on other people. I'm too busy doing my own thing. Like, every time you judge someone else, you point a finger at someone, you got 3 fingers pointed back at yourself.
Correct.
You know?
But and the moral of the story from that is just do your own thing and don't worry about the haters.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
What I mean? I'll get people message me from burner accounts with no followers like, man, you didn't ask this question, you didn't do this to this person. I'm like, well, you're calling me a coward and you've got a fake account.
That's right, yeah.
It's pretty cowardly.
Yeah, man, you just got to kill them with kindness. Hey, so thanks for the support, man. Drop another comment. Cheers, bro. You know what I mean?
Feed the algorithm.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. And they're like, did you read my message? I'm like, nope. Like, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. I get so much love on this shit. I'm just used to saying thank you. Sorry, brother. Like,
I know. That's another one, isn't it? With social media, today even, I was just clicking like on a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, I've just liked some hate, but you're like, because you just like the stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But you get used to liking things, and then people are hating on it. And you're like,
honestly, bro, the more, like, I don't get too much hate, which I'm kind of bummed out about because it means that I'm even getting reach to people that don't like my stuff. Like, I think it's a good gauge of success, not success, but reaching a new audience. Because if even people that don't like my stuff are seeing my stuff, that's awesome. Yeah. Because I know the people that like my stuff are seeing it. You know, I feel like, sweet. If you don't like it, that's awesome. But that's a new person that had a chance to like it. So.
Or hate it.
Yeah, exactly right. By all means.
When you think
people hate watch stuff. People love to be mad. Like, people hate watch stuff. Like, if you want to hate watch my shit, sweet as, put it on repeat.
But even when you think back, right, to your introduction, and this is a great segue to get it back to where we were on your timeline.
Yeah, yep.
Kid Rock coming out and, dressing like a pimp, doing rap, hip-hop, rock stuff. He would have had a lot of haters, man.
100%, man.
But it got him to where he was.
That's right. Definitely, bro. Definitely. Yeah, he's definitely different.
Yeah. But you can't reach a level of success without having haters, and that's part of it. And the thing is now, that was a time before social media, so people could, like you said, hate watch your stuff. They could send it, hey, look at this.
Yeah, for
sure. Look at this goose, but they couldn't even really comment on it.
Yeah.
But now people have a fucking soapbox to stand on and they can comment.
Yeah, that's right. Chuck it in the group chat. Have a laugh. Fucking share it around.
That's a fucking metric that isn't really spoken about. Something gets shared in a group chat is a lot more important than something that gets shared to one person.
I know.
I didn't even think about that till you brought
there
that
we
up.
go. Fucking.
We just need to write these
ideas
ideas
down. That's right, 100%. Yeah, copyright. Fuck up.
So let's. That needs to be a metric that Meta need to study.
Yeah, that's right, 100%.
All right, so let's talk about your
on
story.
The marketing,
we go on tangents. That's the idea. But I've got to try and bring us back. So you find hip hop and Aussie hip hop specifically through boarding school.
Yeah.
Did you get how it worked? Did you know what was the entry point? Did you think about making it? What's going on there?
Honestly, man, like as I was finding it, I still listened to a lot of American stuff, a lot of Seppo music, like
Seppo music. Is that what you called it at a boarding school? Seppo music.
Yeah, the Seppos, the Yanks, the Seppo, septic tanks. Yeah, man, and like I don't know, I started leaning towards, like I said, leaning towards the Aussie stuff. Listen to more. I almost sort of went, oh well, I fell in love with the sound of the likes of like Kings Connected, the Queensland guys, and I was like, man. I don't know. I almost felt like obligated to strictly listen to that because I was like, all right, well, this is where I'm from. I relate to this much more. These are Brisbane guys. I listen to.
What year are we talking now?
We're talking, this probably when I was really starting to rinse it was coming out of school around 2015. But yeah, even the likes of like Funkors, the Hoods, and
the Funkors are kind of dropped off by that stage though.
Yeah, definitely. But honestly, like
not dropped off. I don't mean dropped off, but they weren't putting out music.
Yeah, definitely not. But like a big thing that I'd gotten into collecting Aussie CDs, and excuse me, I really wanted to collect wax, but wax was really hard to get my hands on, especially for the releases that I wanted, the likes of Tram, Lazy, K Double, like. So I was onto the CD collecting. So I was collecting CDs. That was the era.
JB
It's
Hi-Fi.
a lot cheaper, Rockin' Horse Records, local to Brissy, and so what the first ever Aussie wax I ever owned was Funk Oars. It was an EP, Dawn of the Heads, and just rinsed it, man. I loved like the the tongue in cheek like they're just talking about getting on the piss. Like, the only reason that you wear your glasses inside, if you hung the fuck over, your mother just died. And I'm just drinking piss with my mates. I'm like, oh, these guys, they're Aussies. They're just talking yarns. Like, and it's relatable. It's not. I can't relate to some bloke from Brooklyn talking about how he's doing shootings on the block. Like, and that's what my introduction to hip hop was.
Yep.
Whereas I found these guys, they're talking about, they're getting on the piss with their mates, they're having fun, bit of tongue-in-cheek
humour.
Putting
a multi on at the TAB, that sort of stuff. I was actually doing that, eating a Palmer. I'm like, this is talking to me.
Yeah, like, sweet as, the boys. Yeah. But it was cool. And it's just, like I was saying, like having the Australian culture come into it, I didn't really pick up a pen until, probably 2017, 2018. But it was always just mucking around. Battle rap probably is the bigger thing that got me into writing. Listening to the old school, like Manners Ill, Cursor, 360, Dundee, massive inspiration. I seen you had Dundee in the other day. Like,
he was the last person to sit in that chair, I think, man.
That's what I said. Yeah, and and man, like crazy battle artists. And that's, in my head, I was writing battle bars for this crazy thought in my head that inevitably someday someone's going to want to rap battle me and I am going to have to come good with it, And it was all just battle bars, just freestyle stuff, sitting around with mates, like writing stuff, mucking around.
So if Dundee steps to you, have you got him?
Fuck no.
It's funny, man. Like, now that I think about it, right, in that chair you're sitting in, we've had some good battle rappers.
Yeah.
360 sat there, and he said that Dundee was one of the best in the country.
He is the best, yeah.
Well, yeah.
He or Manners.
Manners, yeah. Well, he's going to come here when he gets to Melbourne next time.
Yeah, yep.
But, or Manners Ill. But, yeah, like, we've had some good battle rappers. It's a part of the hip-hop culture that is kind of died off. Yep. Do you miss that sort of stuff?
Honestly, man, it's not something that I delve into a lot now that I got a bit older. But, like, man, growing up, I loved, like, because I'm a big fan of comedy as well. Like, the wittiness, being able to, it's the same way of like someone setting up a joke in a comedy special and then they have a callback or,
a punchline.
Yeah. Someone punches through with something, like, it's, I really like the pen work. It's really intricate, and if someone can pull it off well, it can be like a lot of people that aren't into it, they go, oh, this is harsh, but the way that someone can set it up and make, like, Cursor was absolutely like such a comedian. He didn't kill people, like he killed people with like some of the like best vulgar humor that, was going on at the time. And then it's just an interesting way. And I was like, oh, like it made me think more about writing, as opposed to just being like, yeah, the cat sat on the mat, you know, next to the fat rat. Like, it's, you know, oh, so you can structure this, you can build anticipation, and then you can hit someone with something and you go, oh, all right, now I think about it. And that's the same reason why I loved K Double, because I think Kings Connected, as a fan, like, you're sitting in a car, you're spinning a K Double album, they're some of the hardest lyrics to learn as a fan, because there's so much content in all of it, and it's so abstract the way that they describe something.
Double entendres.
Or even just the poeticness, the way that they can... like, Dantes can talk about walking a dog down the street on the afternoon after having a coffee at the coffee shop, but the way that he'll say it is so intricate and poetic. He'll tell a standard yarn and paint a picture with it, you know? And that's what I fell in love with hip-hop, and with my sort of writing style, I feel has sort of pushed my style, you know? Definitely massive influence when it comes to that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, punchlines, like, there's something that's so cool about having something you can nod your head to, but then also think, oh, that's like a double entendre, or that's like a punchline. You know what I mean? That's right. When it connects with me too. I love that stuff. Yeah, most
definitely, yeah. And I mean, it gives great re-listen value too. You know, when you know an artist, if you're listening to someone that can kill with some wordplay, can kill with some intricate structure, you want to listen. If you know that artist is like that, you're not going to listen to a single once. You're not going to listen to an album once. You're lapping through a couple of times on release day, and then you're, oh, sweet, awesome. You know, I'm catching this. You're catching something 3 weeks down the track because you haven't heard it. You know,
there's stuff that I listen to now of records that I've listened to for 20 years, and I still pick up things because my mind's different, and I'm like, oh, that actually means that, and you know, that's like good music, man.
Yeah,
where
that's right.
It's there's intricacies there and wordplay that you never picked up the first 20 years. Maybe it says something about
definitely, man. Yeah, it gives
how limited my brain capacity is. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose in the state you're in while you're listening to it, I suppose. But like, yeah, it gives music legs. It gives it longevity. You know, especially if you can put a little bit more into it, and even, you know, if you can wink and nudge someone on a release and hint towards something, and then follow it up with another release, and maybe give a little bit more information, it's like you've almost just made a Easter egg for someone to come back to. They go, oh, so that's what he was talking about. You know, you don't have to give it all face value on the first one. You can, you know.
Yeah, but this is the challenge that a modern day artist faces now, because back when you are rinsing CDs, you're listening to Big L over and over, back to front. You listen, you figure out the intricacies.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But now, with streaming, people listen to something. Oh yeah, I listened to that. Oh yeah, I've got to listen to this. My mate just sent me 2 other things. So people don't have the time to listen and dive deep, which kind of sucks. But it's, I guess, the modern day age we live in, man.
It's crazy. That's still the structure I listen to music. Hey, like if there's I'm not a big playlist person. I'm not a big, like, I don't just chuck the like tracks on and shuffle it. Like
that's good for the car though sometimes.
Yeah, it's good. Definitely. Yeah, especially with these fucking cameras around, bro. But yeah, like I'm always like, put the album on. If the album laps, I'll listen to the album. Like, man, releases like Aussie releases, like 2000 BC by Mark Pompey and Coloured Noise, man. Like that album, I can let that album run through 4 times, listen to the whole thing, you know, front to back, stuff like that. Man, like same thing. I don't know. There's a lot of thought. What you would hope. I know myself. There's a lot of thought that goes into tracking an album. You want to, what are you introducing the person to with the track one? Where do you want to take them on this journey? And if you just go through and you just go, I'll pick this one, I'll pick this one, I'll pick this one. You know, fair enough. They might be your hits that you feel are off that project, but you're not getting the whole experience. I think an album experience is very important. That's why I like leaning towards, even if it's a 4-track or a 3-track, or
it's a body of work.
I feel like a body of work you can really give people more. As opposed to just dropping singles. Singles are definitely a very important part of the music process, especially drawing people into a project. But I like giving people a little bit of a sonic journey, because I like being taken on one.
Yeah, and with that you can be like, here's the artwork, here are the artists and the producers I was working with. This is where I am at this point in time.
Yeah,
rather than here's a bunch of random shit that I threw together because I had nothing else to really cohesively put out, which I guess
100%.
a lot of people do now because they're like, well, I'm sitting on all these single tracks.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's harder with new sound, especially with more modern music too, especially with trap music or drill music. I don't know. I've dabbled when I was still finding my sound in trap music, and never drill, but like I've played with different sounds, and I can't picture myself making an album anything other than boom bap because I don't know how you provide that same experience in that genre. I feel like it's a lot easier to play with different samples and give people different sounds when it comes to traditional hip hop. Definitely doable. A lot of people do it well, but it's just something that I've gone, no, I don't think I can pull that off,
Man, I think certain different genres of music lend themselves to being very one-dimensional and like that. And I think that also, with the popularization of that kind of music, pushes itself to the generation now of people that don't consume albums or projects at length.
Most definitely,
right?
yeah.
So if you're listening to a track from an artist that you like and this is sick, are you going to listen to that whole project? And with a lot of that drill stuff, maybe they will listen to that whole project. But those people aren't. It's more made for that short attention span.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I feel so. Yeah, it's definitely more so for the singles, the hits, chasing the chart. Not so much chasing the charts, but definitely lands with the charts.
But that's also why music gets with commercial stuff gets shorter and shorter.
Yeah,
because people have the shorter attention span. It changes the way that you record stuff. It changes the way that you think about the visual aspect of what accompanies it. Like you're doing clips at the moment, are you thinking about how it's going to look like this rather than like that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to get the framing right for the reel.
You're thinking about that's good. Yes,
yeah.
You've always got to think like that, man.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, that's the market. Your biggest engines for promotion and exposure are social media. Instagram, TikTok, and. I'm not about to jump on fucking TikTok and start doing food reviews. Like,
what about a beer review?
Beer review. But I like.
What darts are you punching?
What darts? Man, like as long as it's cold and as long as it burns, 10 out of 10. Like that's as far as I'm concerned. Can
I ask a question? This has got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
In Brissy, right? Are places getting burnt down as quickly as in Melbourne? Because every time I look in the news, someone's firebombing something. And is it because I'm just consuming the media that's here? Is that happening in Brisbane and shit as well?
Yeah, bro, but not as hectic. Like
it's happening every day, at least once a day here.
Bro, we had not even like a nan and pop joint. We had a Moonlight open just down below our studio. And, I think it was there for a couple months, man. They fucking firebombed the joint. It didn't, I was like, fucking heritage building. This bitch is probably going to fucking go up pretty quick. But the studio didn't burn down. But, I don't know, we were, concerned because there's a lot of tobacconists around you. Well, fuck, is this going to become a big Brizzy thing? Because it's definitely not. Compared to down here, or from what I see on the news.
But it's not even, barber shops are getting torched, all sorts of shit. Acai bowl, I don't even know how to say it.
Acai bowls?
Yeah.
Bro, if you're fucking getting your acai bowl shops fucking burnt down, you're serving fucking oatmeal and ice cream to the wrong cunts.
Imagine you're just a normal shop, right? You're a guy that's been there forever with a Tats Lotto store. And then you what's going to be next door? Because there's a lot of retail that's empty now. If you hear... back in the day, people would have been scared a tattoo shop's going to open. People would have been tattoo shop, or at least it's not a fucking acai bowl. At least it's not a tobacconist.
Yeah, 100%.
Because a tattoo shop probably won't get burnt at these
100%.
days.
That's right. At least fucking people might have a bit of fucking fear from the bikies, back in the day. Oh, right. Man, fucking tobacconist now. Yeah, I don't know.
It's great. I actually texted my mate the other day who's a fiery, and I'm like, dude, is it Melbourne, it's just is arson going through the roof here, or is it all over the country? And he said it seems to be a bit more prevalent here. But fuck, I don't know.
It's definitely more prevalent down here. I feel I see way more media on it happening down here. Obviously, it's all tied to organised crime and whatnot.
Yeah, of course it is. It just I'm like, maybe it's just because we're a bigger city. But I'm like, is it Sydney's bigger than Melbourne? Is it happening more there? I don't know.
Yeah.
We just get told what they want.
Yeah, that's right. You only see what you can see. Hey, that's right. You only get what you're fed. But definitely, it's not it's not so common up in Queensland. Not from what I see anyway, news wise.
Nah.
But
Crazy, man.
it's insane. Man, they're like talking to a few girls at the counter and like people that are selling ciggies, man, like they're making more money than the fellas that are pushing other stuff. Like there's darts is where the money's at. Like if there wasn't
the government's to blame because they put the tax up too high, right?
If there wasn't good money in it, they wouldn't be burning fucking buildings down.
Correct. Right? That shows you how hard it is for a retail store to make money when they're willing to risk that shit.
Same with the fines. Like you talk to them, you talk to a person like operating, and you're like, now in Brissy, like you can't rock up and buy vapes because vapes is like the big thing now. They probably pay more attention to the vapes than the ciggies. But like you can't.
But that's a young person entry level thing more than
Yeah, for sure. But like there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money in it. Like I used to work in the Northern Territory and still live in Queensland. And the difference between the Northern Territory and Queensland, I could go and buy a vape for $15 in Queensland. If I'm in the Northern Territory, that same vape's worth $100. You know, if you've got
supply and demand. I've seen a business opportunity.
Exactly right. I was flying up with a few vapes and flicking to a couple, mate. You know, like, don't burn my fucking joint down, but like, the money that they were making out of a lot of stores, because I was talking to them about raids, and because you go in, you buy one, and you go, oh, so like, you guys worried about the coppers coming and sussing the joint out? And they're like, nah, if we get a fine, we make that money in a week. Like, they're making that much money that they're covering it, but the government's just upped the fines.
I think it's 100K or something, man.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it was 20K, and then they've just upped it to 100.
Yeah, to make them deter. But what's funny now, and I don't smoke, right? But I don't think that plain package stuff with the eyeball or the teeth or old mate Brian, I don't think I've seen a pack of ciggies like that for months. Yeah, we see the branded ones now.
Yeah, 100%. That's right. And like, why wouldn't you? Like, I don't know. I see a lot of people that are country. They swear by, been smoking 30 years. Stick by my brand. Like, man, fuck the money.
What is it?
Like, it's a car payment. It's a house payment now. Like, if you want to drink 2 cartons of piss a week and smoke, 2 pouches or 50 grams of tobacco. Man, you're looking at fucking paying off a Land Cruiser.
That is a monetary point that country folk know. Yeah, Land Cruiser.
100%. That's the fucking Rolls Royce of the sticks, mate. Yeah, 100%.
We went on a tangent about ciggies.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the darts.
There you go. So now we're going to get back on track. So you started writing.
Yeah.
You started Kings Connected your shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Trem.
Yeah, yep, Lays, yeah.
Lazy.
Yeah, yep.
And you're like, I'm gonna give this a go.
Yeah, man, just getting into, didn't have any idea sort of when it comes to like structure, and I spend a bit of time on the internet working out, 4-bar structure, A-B, rhyme schemes, working on that sort of thing. But I've never been crazy on like flows. I was always more interested in
content.
Yeah,
lyrics.
And being able to, draw someone's attention with what you're saying. Like I said, like growing up on listening to those guys, you can imagine that's where that come from.
Yeah. The thing is, man, someone like Trem he's so good at like being intricate, but also getting your attention.
Yeah, most definitely.
But then make it seem pretty effortless.
That's right. Yeah, 100%. That's what style is, doing something difficult and making it look easy or making it look stylish.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's hard. That's the hardest
very
thing.
hard. That's right. It takes years,
Yeah.
People say it takes 10 years to make an overnight success.
It does. It takes a lifetime almost.
That's right. Some people don't get there, but, it's putting the hours into the craft, and you can tell with people and the likes of that, it shows. It shows. It's the hours.
Yeah. But there's also like a interesting balance point with that, right? Like you want to perfect something, but also the more you overthink it, if you never put anything out, you never have that first step, you never start the journey,
Yeah, most definitely.
So you've got to put that shit out and learn.
Definitely, that's right. And, you've got to write the bad songs to get the good songs. That's how I feel. Like, I probably only release 60% of the stuff I write.
Right.
Because you got to write the bad bars, you got to have the bad ideas. You get rid of the bad ideas, you clear them out of your system, then, you got room for the good ones.
Do you revisit those bad ideas?
Sometimes, but for the most part, I don't.
Let them go.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a lot of tracks that I think will never see the light of day. But I think at the time that's the same thing with releasing a track that I can look back on and I go, oh, that's not really me now, or I'm not fond of it. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's because I've grown. It's because I've developed. Yeah. And I hope that my skill set has improved.
Yeah.
So
I guess there's two factors there. There's a skill set, but there's also your artistry of where you want to take it as well.
Yeah,
maybe I'm in a different place mentally, and where I want to push this shit is different. Even if I'm still the same artist doing the same thing, I'm on a different
for sure.
length in my journey.
Yeah, most definitely. That's right. And it's a good thing too, because it gives you indifference between your releases as well. Not everything's going to suit everyone, and not everything. You're not going to be the same person that you were when you're 20 as you are when you're 30. Yeah. There has to be growth. If not, then you're stagnant.
Yeah. It's a hard thing, man, because there's a lot of people that are out there that are perfectionists that don't want to put anything out until it's exactly perfect, but there is no such thing as perfect.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
I think you've got to put shit out. And I guess from an artist point of view, and I've never really put music out, I'm not an artist, but if you put it out, you can learn from it. You can always pull it back.
Yeah, that's
unless
right.
It blows up when you can't, but then you've got different problems.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, that's a pretty bad problem to have. Like, fuck, I blew up, bugger.
Yeah.
Man, 100%. And at the end of the day, you're doing what you love. Like, if you didn't do it that good this time, do the next one a little bit better. You learn from each step and you take a better step the next one.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we do it because we love it. That's the first and foremost thing that you want to take into it. I love the lifestyle. I love focusing my life around music because I enjoy recording music. I enjoy writing music. I enjoy putting the pen to page, and I get that bar that makes me go, ooh, yeah. As long as it makes me go like that, I'm happy with it. I'm proud of it. And, there'll be somewhere. It's not about writing something that everyone loves, because not everyone's going to love it. Mm-hmm. But if you do it for long enough, surely a group of people that do like your stuff will gravitate to you. But that's not the goal. It's just, being a part of something you love.
That's why I love the small Aussie hip-hop scene so much.
Yeah.
Because except for the very, very small, minute fraction of it that are making money, no one's making money. So everyone is literally doing it purely for the love, which makes it so, I'm not going to say virgin. It's so pure is the right word I'm looking for. It's so
most
pure.
definitely,
It's just made because these people are spending $1,500 to shoot a video clip that they know will not make them that much money back because they love doing that shit. That's what makes it so cool.
100%, man. And it's testament to a lot of the older generation, man, that, like you said, there was no scene when they started, and by measures of a metric of internationality, there's still no scene. But I don't know how many albums Taunts has released, but he's been himself unapologetically through the entire thing, and he's shown longevity. He's shown complete and utter love for the craft.
Yep.
The same for the likes of people like Selzy. Selzy's still so active and so busy, lazy. Mm-hmm. Man, people, you can tell that it's, a labor of love. Mm-hmm. And I find that inspiring, you know what I mean?
Sure.
They're not doing, it was never about, an accolade. It was never about this. And especially to go back and imagine what it was like to be a young person releasing music when you have only ever heard American music, and from day dot you sounded like an Aussie and you talked like an Aussie, you told Aussie stories, you made Australian music, when all of your influences were from a foreign land. I reckon that's some of the dopest shit you could fucking think of, because I don't know if I would have done that. I might have rapped in a Yank accent, you know, because that's where the influence is drawn from. That's what you first heard. That's what you thought that was.
That's true pioneer shit.
Yeah, definitely, man, 100%. And those, like I said, that's, I think, why it's so special. It's not for everyone, but man, shouts to the people that did that, because I don't know if I would have done the same. I probably would have been rapping like a Yank.
But man, it's you can't be what you can't see, and that whole thing. But there's a whole generation, and you're of that generation where there was people that had already laid the foundations. This can be a successful. People can like it, but there was a whole lot of people out there that are like, no one even knows what hip hop is in our wider community, let alone hip hop that we're making here. So who are we making it for? It's just for me and the 15 people at the bar once a month that like it.
Yeah.
And then maybe the 15 CDs we sell every couple of months, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
But that's
right,
true passion.
Yeah, definitely, man. 100%. And like, it's cool when you meet people that are like that. There's no ego involved. It's, I've been, lucky enough to work with a lot of dudes from the older generation that I grew up listening to, and they're the most genuine people that you can interact with in a music environment because, there's no bullshit involved. Mm-hmm. It's just, sweet ass music. Fucking oath, let's do some music. Yeah.
And when you get to recording, because we're going to get there, we're going to, in a roundabout way, we'll get to your linear journey.
Yeah, yep.
So you start writing, then when you start recording, you've got your template of what you want to sound like or not sound like, but what your influences are. Then you start to write stuff within that vein. There's already a genre there.
Yeah.
Of sort of Aussie rap that you're into. So you know that style.
Yep.
Then you start to write within that style. So then where does the recording come into it?
Well, to be honest, I took a sort of weird zigzag path in the sense of when I was writing the sort of battle type bars and basically writing, endless bars. It wasn't structured for songs. There was no song structure. That it was very Aussie, and it was very traditional hip hop. And it's always been Aussie. But when I started writing songs, because I listen to all forms of hip hop. I was doing trap music. I was trying to do a little bit of singy stuff. I was trying to find my sound.
You were singing?
Not well. But like
I was trying in there?
Yeah, look, honestly, I tried to sing. I couldn't sing, and then I was like, you know what? Maybe auto-tune can fix this. And I was like, no, it can't. This is unsalvageable. And yeah, I was like, nah, that's not for me. And then what brought me back to it is, make what you love. I make music that I like listening to, like sound-wise, and it brought me back to the traditional style. I've always wanted my sound to be, a next-gen version of what I fell in love with.
Uh-huh.
The next version of that grimy music, the dark boom bap, the good, like the nice dusty drums, and that's what helped me find my sound. And with my early releases, I've got rid of a lot of them, but it was the process of me releasing music. Like I said, it's never the right time, just release it. But I was still finding my sound. And as I continue to release, I treat it as sort of like a rolling catalogue. So as I released new music and found more of my sound, I got rid of the older stuff where it was me learning, and I've just left it on SoundCloud where people did like that stuff, they can find it,
That's it, man. And I think that's the right way to do it with anything. Put it out there, and there's never a right time to do anything.
Yeah, that's right.
If you wait for the most opportune time to do anything, whether it's moving interstate or whether it's changing your job or anything, there's never a perfect time, really.
Yeah.
Unless someone forces your hand, you get sacked or whatever, you get evicted.
Right. Yeah.
But there's never, you've got to just make those first steps and fucking move with it.
100%. And like, I'm always of the mind, it's kind of weird. Like, I'll release a song and I don't want to hear it. After I've released it, I don't want to hear it because I'm done with it, and I want
to the world.
And I've put it out, and I want to work on the next thing. Like I've given that project or that piece everything that I had to give it, and it's done now. It's not on my mind. It's not something that I don't listen to my own music. I don't think a lot of people do. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
Some people do, man. It's interesting.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm happy with it, and this is where I am right now. This is the release that I'm going to put out. But now my mind's elsewhere. It's on to the next thing because I like making music. I can't.
That's the right creation.
I can't make the next song focusing on the last one. And, you're always. I feel like as long as you're constantly moving, you're constantly developing, you're constantly growing, you're not going to like your older stuff. You can obviously, it's like getting a tattoo, I got tattoos that I got when I was 16, 17, and I look back on them now and go, yeah, I probably wouldn't have got that now. You know, I wouldn't have got that when I was 28.
It's a bookmark on your life.
But that's right. It's a bookmark on my life. That's where I was at the time. I liked it at the time. I don't hate it because it's not me now. It's just that's what I was then. And I'm, you know, that's a part of, like you said, a bookmark on your life.
Yeah. That's totally, I agree wholeheartedly. With tattoos and stuff, you look at them and you're like, oh, I wouldn't have done that this time, or, you know, my taste has changed, but that is what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Lucky for us, we're not the most attractive things to look at, so we can just ruin our skins.
100%. Yeah, well, I'll put a bumper sticker on a Camry. I won't put one on a Lambo, you know?
No, but man, I think the angle that you're going with is totally right. Like, put stuff out there, and that is where you're at. And with music or whatever... It's a really hard thing because the internet is somewhere now that is unforgiving, and whenever you put anything out there, if you do have enough of an audience, people will not forget that. And if you when you are small enough, you can put music, you can put podcast episodes, you can put content out there that it will disappear.
Yeah.
But if you are of a certain level of popularity, it will never disappear because people will hold on to that and put it out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So when people are starting, the best thing you can do is put it out there and see what sticks. And if something doesn't stick, you can always take it away.
Yeah, most definitely. That's right. And I mean, man, you're just making something, like, you're just having fun with it. Like, it's not that serious. You don't have to take yourself that serious. Like, even if you make serious music or, you know, like, have fun with it. Like, it's not, you know, it's not do or die.
No.
Just enjoy it.
It's art. It's music.
Yeah, 100%.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, it's free form. So, yeah.
So the early stuff that you made, oh, look at this. How good's that? Beer delivery.
Oh, man. Hey, there we go. When you're in the area, when in Rome.
Thank you. But with music, though, when you started making it and recording it, where are you sourcing your beats from? How are you doing? It's all good, man.
Honestly, when I first started... Oh, shit, there's also half a beer there. When I first started, I was stealing a lot of my beats. You know, I hadn't fully wrapped my head around the whole concept of, you know, I hadn't fully made the idea to, like, actually fully commit to making music. So I was jacking a lot of beats. First beat I ever bought was actually off Dante's. I didn't even end up using it, eh? And it ended up on an old laptop of mine. I lost it.
You don't have the beat anymore?
Don't have the beat anymore,
Can you get it back off him?
I've tried, man. Yeah, no, it's lost.
Lost in the internet?
Yeah, I'm going to have to grab another one. Actually, I got a track coming out soon, actually, with some K-double production with the likes of Rems and Peeps, one of their joints. So, cool little single we got, Jawbone.
Ooh. When? What date?
Good.
Can we talk about that?
We haven't got a date. It was meant to be end of this month. And, yeah, we're still working on it. But as soon as possible. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, dope production. But, yeah, my sort of lineage come into working in a studio and production-wise was all through... I come across a bloke, Sneezy Sound, who now has become my primary producer. He engineers everything that I've ever recorded since the start, and he's, everything, basically 95% of everything that I've ever released has been recorded with Sneezy.
You obviously trust him wholeheartedly then.
Yeah, most definitely. He's taken care of me from the start. You know, even, you know, as I've grown as an artist, he's grown as a producer and catered more to my sound and put more time into, you know, making music to help me. And in turn, you know, I hope I've sort of returned the favour for him with spending a lot of time and showing loyalty and working with him. You know, it's been a really good working relationship.
And that's important to find in any sort of capacity when it comes to creativeness. Someone who can help you with your... Not to say that you've got weaknesses, but you can sort of bounce off each other and you can
most
sort
definitely.
of, you know, oh, man, I don't really get this thing. What do you think? You know what I mean? That's real important.
Yeah, for sure. And even just someone being able to give you the hard truth and being like...
Man, this sucks.
Yeah, it'd be like, come on, man, fucking bin it. You know, sometimes you just got to bin it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's good, you know, if you've got a comfortable, especially you need a comfortable environment, work with people that you're comfortable with, because then you can push your boundaries. You're not worried about, you know, oh yeah, can I do this? Can I do that? But like, it's
Does it potentially get stagnant though, working with the same people though? Is that the only downfall I could see?
I still reach out a lot for different production. I've done, a lot of work with the likes of Don Vinyl, Treb One, Sneezy himself, Coloured Noise, and it's all much flying the same flag of the ship. It's a similar sound, but I like to, with my last release, I'd like to do something of sort of Illmatic type steez where I've collaborated every single producer in the country that I really fuck with, and one international. I was like, this is the sound I'm going for, but I want to have a collaboration of all the people that I really am inspired by, because I'm probably more inspired by production than I am by artists. If I get hit with a really dope beat, the track writes itself.
Right. Then and there almost.
Pretty well, man. Like, yeah, especially if you hear something that really if I hear something that sits me back in my seat, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, righto. This is a track.
Yeah, I heard the other day. I can't even remember where. I shouldn't be quoting stuff that I can't remember where I heard it from, but I heard it, and it's like a producer sits in the studio while they record the track, but then I fucked it up. What? Do you know what I mean?
You mean like producer sits in and listens to the whole process. The rappers only coming in here and the finish.
No, there's more to do with who's making the beat. So it's like the yeah, I fucked it. but basically, so when you're working with someone, you're working with them. They're sitting there with you, going through that step-by-step process where you are making the music together.
Yeah.
And that's different to somebody who just gave you a beat. You know what I mean? Because they don't really, they're not, I made this and it could be for you or it could be for Split, could be for fucking anyone.
Yeah,
so you take it and do what you want with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely, man.
Which is different to who's on the beat and who's on the production.
100%, man.
I fucked the quote up incredibly, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand the merit. Yeah. Even like especially doing like collaborative projects, working with a producer, you can have someone really bring something different to the table out of yourself, letting them have input, letting them take the reins a bit. It's the same. It's like going to a tattoo. Let's back to the tattoo. It's like going to a tattoo artist and say, hey, mate, I want this. But I've looked through your portfolio. I like your art. I said I want a dragon. I like your style of dragons. I'm not going to tell you that I want a dragon that's like this. I'm not going to show you a photo and say, do this, do someone else's work. I come to you. You have creative control.
Yeah.
And
that's a collaboration. No, totally.
Yeah, for sure.
I get exactly what you mean.
Yeah, having that, that...
You don't want a flash sheet beat.
Yeah.
If you do want a flash sheet beat, you 100%. Want to buy the...
Well, you go to YouTube and you spend $30,
right.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's it, man. Like, flash sheet beat, here you go. Here's all the beats I've got. You want that one? Where's it going to go? It goes there. There's no collaboration. If you've got an artist that you're going to work with, they say, hey, what do you do? I do this style. All right, what have you got here? Well, that dragon, as we've used, isn't going to work on your ribs because it's a shit spot. Everyone knows that. But also, your ribs are going to move and you've got to tilt this way. So let's work together and come up with a different dragon that goes on your ribs.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like, it's the same thing with anything. Like, obviously, too many cooks in the kitchen, they're going to spoil the dish. But it's good having someone you can bounce something off.
Showing off with your good quotes. You actually got the proper quotes. I'm fucking them up.
I'm not normally this spoken. A couple beers, I get spoken pretty well. See, I'm fucking up. You put me on. Now I'm getting nervous. No.
Too many cooks in the kitchen can definitely fuck shit up.
100%. Yeah. But, like, it's good to have input. Like, I went through a stage where, I'm going into the studio and the studio become a little bit of a party. And the next thing, I'm going to have to go get another session and re-record because, I'm not taking it as seriously as what I should be. But then instead of removing people from the session, I replaced the people in the session that were still artists, but they were sort of more interested in having a fun time. And I replaced them with having another producer in the room or someone that's, got hunger to work with us. And you have someone and you go, oh, all right, what do you think of this? Oh, you know what? Maybe you should try this a little different or, and you don't always have to take it, but having that extra mind on the job, you can go, oh, fuck, I didn't even think of that, you know?
No, it's surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and I'm
definitely.
sure that there's dudes that are probably like, man, you're making music, that's sick. I'll come into the studio, you won't even notice me, but I'll drink 15 beers and I'll smoke a joint and I'll be there. But they're not contributing. They're, if anything, they're just
there
like
for the
enabling you. Yeah, and they're probably 100%. For the right mentality, but
yeah, that's right. Definitely, man. I mean, like, you have some good times. But sometimes the work's got to be done.
And I don't know, but I'm sure that if you've got to pay for studio time, those people are going to get in the way and cost you fucking money, dude.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I mean, like, I know, at the end of the day, you've got your own responsibility too, you know. You got to own that yourself, you know. Mm-hmm. You've invited the people there. You've spent the money on the time. If you want to waste your own money, waste your money. But
yeah. Time is money. That's what they say. I got that quote right.
There you go.
Slowly get the quotes correct so I can feel better about myself.
Yeah.
So then you start recording and then you're putting it out at this stage.
Yeah, yep.
But at the same time, in hindsight, you're not that happy with it, but you're putting it out. Well, you've got to start somewhere.
My first release was a 3-track EP, all on trap beats. And, you know...
Jacked beats or original beats?
These were all exclusive beats from Sneezy.
Right.
So originally, I'd released maybe like 4 or 5 tracks on SoundCloud, unmixed and mastered, and I was...
SoundCloud's not really a mixed and mastered kind of place. You just
definitely
throw it out
not.
there,
That's right. Just throwing out stuff that I was playing with, and my partner. I've come across Sneezy's production page. He was advertising studio time in Brisbane. I was living up on the north side, Redcliffe at the time, and I was
Redcliffe Dolphins.
Yeah,
they weren't a team then, though.
Fins up, baby. No, I'm a Cowboys boy.
Oh, yeah, you get it.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I don't know. I was sort of on the fence about getting in and taking it serious because you've never been in a studio. I didn't know what the studio was like. I didn't know what the setting was like. It's intimidating, especially like jumping on stage for the first time. But my partner at the time, she's like, "Yeah, fucking go for it, do it. Just if you like it, fucking have a crack." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Yeah, righto, sweet. I'll go do it. Have a try." Did the 3-track EP, released the 3-track EP.
Were you confident though? Like, because it's interesting.
Well, like I wasn't confident, but like I was like, look, I'm going into the studio. I'm not going to make a goose of myself. I knew this. It's like when I performed my first show, man. Like, that's the best performance I've ever done. The first show, because I was so nervous. I made sure that I knew every single track like to a T. And then from there,
you don't come across as nervous, though. That's a skill in itself.
Well, yeah, I know. That's it. Yeah, I know. It depends. It depends on the environment. You're very welcoming. Nah. But like, I was like, you're shitting yourself. It's the first time being on stage, and you're like, everyone's washed 8 Mile. No one wants to choke. You don't want to choke. And so I was like, I'm eliminating this completely from possibility of happening. And like, still, the crowd work wasn't. It's still like, it's a development skill in a sense of its own, being able to work a crowd as opposed to being able to. Some people are just studio rappers or freestyle rappers or battle rappers. That's right.
Battle rappers, yeah.
That's right. Being able to work a crowd, because at the end of the day, like, you can say, my name's this and I do this and like this week I did that, like, or this. You can rap a verse and do it really well, but if you don't do it with conviction and say it with heart, you can't. It doesn't come across on a live performance.
No.
And that takes time. It takes practice, because it's one thing to have confidence and be able to perform on stage. It's another thing to be able to put heart into what you do.
Yeah. And be ready for those variables that come, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So you can run through the performance in your head as much as you want, but you go out there and your mic cable's not as long as you thought it was, and you thought you're going to walk from here to there, or you say, "Oi, Brisbane, is everyone ready?" And they go, "Nah, get fucked." You're like, "Well, that wasn't how it went in my head." Like,
when I first started, I was so bad, man. Like, I would pace back and forth on the stage, and because I was doing little shitty venues, it's always the mic, a corded mic. I would walk myself into wrapping myself up in the cable, and every 2 songs I would have to like unravel myself.
That's a nervous pace.
Nervous pace. Yeah, like wrapping myself up like a wily coyote.
But that is what I see rappers do that, and I'm not a rapper, right? But I have been on a stage a bunch doing other stuff. When you're walking up and back like that, you're not facing the crowd.
That's right,
So you
yeah.
are going, I'm going to have presence on the stage and walk this way till I get to the end of the stage, and I'm going to have presence and walk that way, and you're not looking. Looking at the crowd is what you're avoiding doing, essentially.
It's like someone pacing out the front of the courthouse on court day. Like,
But I think when Shadow was on here, he said the same thing. He's like, you watch Hilltop when they do it, or you watch these guys that do this on a large scale. They run from side to side, but when they run, they're like crab walking, and they're still engaging with the audience.
Yeah, definitely.
They're not pacing up and down with their. Like, that's a different thing that you don't even think of.
Definitely, man. And I mean, like, they definitely would have probably started at one point, you know, pacing and wrapping themselves up in the mic cord too. It's just time on stage, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And learning. But the
For
thing
sure.
is, though, right, is now we have these guys to look at and be like, oh, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Where they were just making it up. There was
100%,
no way that they knew, oh man, when we get to Rod Laver Arena with Aussie rap, this is how we do it. They're just like, fuck, we're at Rod Laver Arena. We need to work this out. Like, cause you know what I mean? Like, they're literally just learning as they go.
Yeah, 100%, man. And like, you know, hats off to them because, you know, like you said, pioneers, man. Yeah, it's made it a lot easier for us to work out. You know, we've seen a lot of people bumble and stumble, and you know we can see them and go, I'm not going to do them ones.
Yeah, but I think those guys are just in a different world now. But it means that it is something that is somewhat obtainable for people. And young guys come in and they're like,
yeah, definitely.
Oh, you can do that, but it's fucking hard.
Yeah,
Whether you're doing rock, whether you're doing any kind of music. That is something that's fucking near impossible to do, but it is somewhat possible.
Yeah, definitely,
so
man.
we've got something to look up to.
100%, but I think it's just, you know, you don't have to be skilled. You just have to have the work rate. Like if you can be, I was fucking dog shit, man. Like I was not a good rapper at all, and I don't consider myself a good rapper. I just work harder than everyone. You know,
Work rate's a huge thing.
I just put more hours into it, I feel. And I like to pride myself on that. You know, I come from the country, my old man's a farmer, and that's probably the biggest thing I ever learnt from him was work ethic. Like, you know, if you give a fuck about something, you work hard for it. Yeah. And if you don't want to work for it, you don't give a fuck about it.
No. There's no lottery tickets for success in creative stuff.
Yeah,
no
exactly
one's going to come along and go, hey, we've selected you to be successful. You have to work. You have to put the work in.
That's right, man. Like, I watched my old man through drought on a farm have to cart truckloads of water every day just to water cattle, and he didn't know when it was going to rain. He's sort of waiting on a wing and a prayer, and woke up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to cart truckloads of water, and he didn't know when it was going to rain, but this is his life. This is his livelihood. He didn't know where the finish line was. There was no finish line. But he woke up every day and fucking did it.
So when you say to them you want to be a rapper, what do they say?
Supportive, man. My old man's like, look, man, it's not really my fucking thing, but like, good on you, bud. Like, it's definitely not his. He's like, do you know what the funny thing is? Like, when I was younger and I was listening to an American stuff, like listen to, you know, stuff from overseas, my old man's like, fucking turn that shit off, bud. Like, that shit's fucking rubbish.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, fucking, you know. And then I started playing, like, when I found K-Double and Tram, he's like, you know what, actually, it's not my thing, but I understand it, you know? Because, you know, you realise that, you know, that's the Aussie version, or I don't know, however he perceived it or whatnot, but he was, I get it now, you know?
My dad, he's got no idea about rap.
Yeah.
Like, at all. And he's not even that old. And, like, I'll introduce him to people.
Yeah, yep.
Like, he calls Trem Damo. He's like, does that, and he's like, I don't know. He's like, who's that guy? I'm like, that guy was, and then he'll meet all sorts of rappers here, and he's got no idea. But it's a generational thing, man.
Yeah, that's right, man, 100%. And I mean, that's the same thing with their parents. Like when, you know, Motley Crue and like, you know, Def Leppard were coming out, they're like, what are these fucking hooligans doing? Like, you know, it's the same thing. It's the counterculture that's coming through and.
But it's been generations now almost, though. That's the thing. Yeah. And it hasn't changed, I don't think.
Yeah. I think, well, hip-hop's now pop culture. Like, it was counterculture to a degree, but it's now pop culture.
It definitely is, But then the kind of stuff that we're about is counterculture again, because it never really reached that level of success. So you look at sort of artists now that are really big that are from Australia, Kid Leroy or 1-4 or whatever it is. It's in the hip hop realm, but it's not it's not lazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Different world.
Yeah, that's right. It is.
And we don't want it to be successful because it's better when it's not.
Yeah, I agree, man. I like, sitting around with the boys, on the beers in the park, listening to some, Aussie hip hop. That's what I grew up on. Nothing wrong with that. Barbecue rap, mate. We're having a barbecue. Fucking couple hot ones and a beer. Fucking snag.
It's Bias said, right, sitting right there. And it is a quote still that cracks me up. Bias said, he goes, yeah, we did it, and they called it barbecue rap. What do you do at a barbecue? You have fun, don't you?
Yeah,
it's like an amazing quote.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. You can't argue with it. Because that's what it is. Yeah, 100%. You don't go to a barbecue, you go home with a frown on your face.
You don't. So we were talking about recording, right? We're talking about...
Yeah, so I started getting in the mix and recording with Sneezy. Like, I started taking a few trips down to Melbourne, working with the likes of, Don Vinyl, Checkmate, getting in the mix with a lot of people that...
Checkmate would have been someone you looked up to, so getting to work with him would have been cool.
Man, insane. And, like, the most hospitable bloke, mate, like, home studio, invite me into his home. Same with Viliani, both beautiful people, man. And
did she cook food for you?
No. But man, like I said, to invite a stranger that they didn't know into their home and to work in his home studio, man.
Lovely people.
Blessed. Some of my favourite projects are probably recorded in that studio. A little bit shell shocked, a bit sitting in the room. I was a little bit shy because these guys are pioneers, like HG crew.
Not to blow the Melbourne horn too much, but when you're into that Oz hip hop stuff that you are, Melbourne is the mecca, though, isn't it?
Oh, most definitely, man, 100%, man. Bro, and like even some of the lesser prolific artists, like Guts. Mm-hmm. Guts is one of my favorite artists that's ever picked up a mic. Maggot Mouth. One of my favourite artists that's ever picked up a mic, and a lot of people don't know who those boys are. Uh-huh. But like, I love like the rawness of what they did, the honesty of who they were. Like, Guts dropped a project, I say not too long ago, a couple of years ago, and it's like called like the Super Skits Mega Mix or whatever. And like, when he dropped that, I was a house painter, and he's got tracks about being a house painter. And I'm
that speaks to you, literally.
And I was like, this is pretty hectic. You know what I mean? He's like talking about being in high-vis and stuff. And like, it's cool, man, because everything that he did was true to him, and it was sick to hear him talk about in his early music, like tracks like The Flats. I like hear so much heart in that, talk about like struggle, and then to have him be like, rapping and be proud to be rocking a high-vis and coming to work and like, talking about cutting in architraves and stuff like that. I'm like, this is fucking sick. This is awesome,
It spoke to you.
Yeah, 100%, because that's the same thing that I was doing,
Yeah. There's no American hip-hop called high-vis rap. That's not a genre.
Not at all. There's no meat pies, no Vs, no Red Bulls, nothing, no ciggies. Yeah.
Not Bunk sitting on Chapel Street talking about his socks have got socks. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. That's a whole...
Same with Bunksy, man. Oh, fuck, shout out Bunksy, bro. Milk money.
Yeah. So when you started to find your voice, your place, you start to record.
Yeah.
Then you start to find an audience. That's the hard thing, isn't it?
I did to a degree, man. Honestly, I just wanted to, like, I sort of set myself goals, and they were all sort of internal goals. It wasn't sort of based around finding an audience.
It's cool that you set goals, though.
Yeah.
Most artists don't do that. They just do it.
My goals was, for starters, like, my goal was to work towards having a CD. I really wanted to have my CD that I made a physical CD that I could hold and put in my collection next to all the people that I loved. And then I had that, and I was like, fuck, this is awesome.
So tell us about that though. So that when you did that, when you pressed the CD,
Yeah, well, I didn't even press the CD. I burnt the CD and then put it in a case, and then I like, you know, cut up the cover and like get it all fitted to put it in the case. And I was like, sweet. Like, to me, I was like, oh, sweet. I got a CD. I got a CD
I've done
release,
it.
and I was like, selling a few, and I was like, yeah, this like I'm happy with this. That goal's ticked off, and then the next thing was, I want to perform one show. If I'm rapping, I want to do one show, and I performed one show. And I was like, maybe another one.
It's addictive.
It is, and it's a goalpost that you chased, and it's constantly moving. You never receive complete satisfaction from what you're doing because it's constantly it's always a growing animal. But you keep working towards something. The goalposts keep moving. They keep moving, and it keeps you driven. Yep. Which is good. But like you set small goals, you work towards that goal, you tick the goal off, you have a sense of accomplishment.
For sure.
So like, I was never like, yeah, sweet, I want an ARIA, I want to be signed to fucking Warner Brothers, I want to be making this much money, I want a Bentley. Like, that was never the thing. It was like, all right, the first goal was I want a single on Spotify. I want to have a song on...
Which is obtainable.
Exactly. It was like an obtainable... I want to have a song on an official streaming service, not SoundCloud. Anyone can put shit on SoundCloud. Anyone can put shit on YouTube. I want to have to work out what it's like, because it was somewhat far-fetched for me because I didn't understand what it was like working with a distribution website and putting music. So I wanted to have something on Spotify. All right. I was like, oh, sweet. Awesome. I've got something on Spotify. Fuck. No one listens to it. All right. Well, I want to work towards doing an album. I want to have a physical CD because I'm a collector. I want to have my stuff in my collection with the stuff that I love. I've got that. Okay, awesome. Now I want to do a show. Okay, I've done a show. Maybe, or you know what? I want to do a sold out show in my hometown. And then you start going, all right, well, now I've started to get a bit of a following. Now I might want to work towards selling a show out interstate or doing a tour. But you set the little steps and you work with the steps and you achieve the small steps, then you work towards other things. It doesn't matter if you don't achieve them or the goals change, but it gives you something to aim towards, and it's not far-fetched. It's not being like, sweet as, I want a fucking gold record. No, because ideally, probably won't happen, and you set a small goals work into bigger ones, you know?
Yeah, and... we know now that those larger goals can happen for people, but at the same time, it changes everything. And do you want your music to change? It's just like a whole different kettle of fish.
And like a lot of that stuff, like a lot of those goals are set based off internal aspirations. Like a lot of my goals were based off wanting to work with my idols.
Which you've ticked a few off.
Definitely. Like working with Taunts, man. Like I can't really speak on a couple of tracks that are unreleased, working with other people, man. But to be able to, share a track with Taunts... like I said, man, such a pioneer for the sound, especially in the path that I've taken. Man, I'm blessed. Like, we're in the process of working on our own EP together.
Which is huge.
It's massive, man. I'm blessed. Like, blokes like Posse Shot heard my track with Taunts and were kind enough to bless me with coming to Brisbane and putting me on support every time that they come to Brisbane, And, man, Posse Shot brings the ruckus, man. They introduced... me to a fan base in Brisbane that didn't know I existed. You know what I mean?
I think that's how you with those guys and with Taunts is how you hit my radar.
Yeah, man. And they blessed me, and they literally, the likes of Carney and Mus said to me, "Oh man, like we knew we were gonna have Taunts on that gig. We can't not do that, and because we know how much working with him means to you, man. Like." That's authentic. That's people that care about the art. They see the movements of people around them. Like, that's true hip-hop. Yeah,
man. And what was that gig like?
Insane, man. Insane. Bro, I'll tell you right now, like, I'm 100 kilos, 110 kilos, depending on how much dog shit I've eaten. Like, I'm a heavy boy. I'm a big boy. Like, people don't carry me around on a fucking chair. And the only times I'll ever try crowd surf is a Posse Shot gig.
Because they're amped.
They're amped, bro. Those skater boys, you get fucking 20 of those. It takes about 15 skater boys and they'll hold me up.
Sweaty with your shirt off.
Yeah, bro. I'm not jumping in the crowd at my gig. No way, bro. I'm hitting the concrete.
I was at a Posse Shot gig and I've got footage of them carrying Carney about 150 metres and then back again. Those guys they're like those ants that carry the leaves.
Bro, 100%, bro. You get like 30 skaters together, you'll break a safe. 100%. No crowbar.
Yeah. So working with taunts, it's obviously milestone, getting the posse shot support, that sort of stuff. And that sort of shit gives you kick in the ass, a bit of vote of confidence. You're like, man, I'm doing something that people are appreciating.
I remember after the first one, I sent Carney, I can't remember what year, I think it was 2023 that I supported them the first year they come, not the first year they come to Brisbane, but that was the first year that I supported them. And I remember sending Carney a screenshot off my old phone of like 2019 being on live with him. And I was, bro, I'm a fan first and foremost.
Yeah.
And I was a fan, geeking out. I'm out in Blackwell. I'm pulling a yabby pot out of the creek and like holding a yabby up, being like, yeah, fucking what's going on? Like, a fan, like, because I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan first and foremost. I love the music before I make the music. You got to love it before you make it. And I like got a screenshot of me being on live with him, being like, yeah, what's going on? I'm out of Blackwell, Queensland, da 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 da. And I sent it to him after that gig. I was like, man, like, I was just some cunt on your live stream backing you guys for what you did. And now I'm sharing the stage with you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a crazy full circle moment. And you don't get a chance sometimes to look back and smell the flowers. And it's a crazy, if I was to talk to my younger self and be like, oh, these guys, you'd probably be on stage with them at some stage.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way,
Credit to those guys, as successful as they've been in collaborations with Nike and fucking whatever they're doing.
Exactly,
they're still the same and they're still super true.
100%, man. Yeah. They're the same blokes that from the start, Same thing. Authentic. They give everyone time of day.
Everyone.
And that's what it's about, man. Not everyone's fresh, not everyone's cool. That's fine. They're just on a different point in their journey, but everyone gets time of day, man. Everyone's a human,
And I think that, those guys are instrumental in pointing out that the music that you make and the art that you do doesn't have to be perfect and doesn't have to be amazing, but you just do you. And they're very good at being like, just be authentic.
Yeah,
this is who we are, and what we're doing is this, and you do you. And as long as you're behind that, then that's cool.
I think that's why it resonates with so many people, man. That the whole motion and motive behind what those boys do, it's not about being like, all right, so we're fresh cunts, indulge in what we do. It's about, all right, they built a community, and so it doesn't matter if you push a douchey, you're fucking skating, you're doing whatever. Like, it's about, oh, sweet as, you're one of us. And like...
Do it fresh and do it with us, and we're all...
100%, we're a community, you know together. What I mean? It doesn't matter if you're on stage, doesn't matter if you're in the crowd, you're never above, never below, we're always beside each other. Yeah. And that's what it is, but like, I don't like buying into the whole thing of like, people that... I don't know, man, if someone messages me, bro, I message them. Because if you take the time to talk to me, I'll take the time to talk to you,
No, that's a great ethos, and with this podcast, I do the same.
Yeah,
people that want to come on. There's people that I don't know. They're like, man, I'm coming from Perth. I'm like, I don't know who you are. They're like, I'm going to come from Perth. I'm going to take the time to do it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll chat to them. It's about like if people want to make the effort to work with you and do something.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Then show them the props and the praise.
Yeah, for sure.
And everyone's a person trying to have a crack.
Definitely,
man.
100%.
So show respect. But there's also a level where you can't let everyone on.
Definitely, man.
If people message, oh, Timos, I've got this track, I want you to do the hook. You're like, man, you can't fuck with everyone.
Definitely, man. 100%. And like, you can't work with everyone, but like, I don't sell features. Like, I have sold features, but at the end of the day, I sort of had a long, hard look at myself, man, and I realized if it takes money to coerce me into being on a song, that I shouldn't be on that song. Because at the end of the day...
That's great.
10 years down the track, I'm not going to be happy with that. I wish it wasn't out, and it's there forever.
Correct.
It's the same thing with, interacting with... Like you said, you walk a line. Like, I might not jump on the track, but send it to me. I'll listen to it. I'll spend the time to listen to it. A lot of people send you tracks, and they go, oh, give it a listen, man. See what you think. Like, oh, I've just started rapping. I'm thinking about rapping. For sure, man. I'll take the time to listen to it. I'll give you some feedback or whatever, but don't think my opinions are important. It's not the be all and end all. Like, if you would like what I think, of course, but just remember, when someone's come up with a new sound and it's different to everything else, it's different to what majority of people like.
And that's probably why it hits.
So I go, you know what? Yeah, no one's successful being the second version of someone else. So I'm like, you know what? I'll listen to it, but like, I'll say, you know what? Yeah, you might have some development to do or whatever. Like, it's not really my thing or whatever. But I'll also say, don't take my opinion as gospel. Yeah. Like, I'm probably wrong. Like, if you want to do something and you're confident with it, fucking do it wholeheartedly, confident, and don't chase my opinion, because my opinion means fuck all. If you enjoy it and you love it, that's way more important than my opinion.
And the more people get shut down, the more it should push you.
Yeah,
right?
100%, yeah.
I've got a few obese records, relics around the room, you might have noticed. But when I got gifted those, I also got gifted a box of stuff, which was demo CDs that was that was handed over to obese.
Yep.
Cursor had a bunch of CDs in there that they binned.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Right? And eventually they signed him.
Yeah.
But that shows younger artists. Cursor threw it out to obese a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And he threw it out to whichever angle he took it. And then he decided, well, fuck, if no one's going to listen, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
And that shows you, man, you can do it without anyone's approval.
Definitely, man. It's not about building a fan base too. It's about finding your fan base. You don't have to build a fan base. You have to find your fan base.
That's good.
You know, like you don't have to convince people to like your music. You just have to find the people that like your music.
Yeah.
If someone's not going to like it, they're not going to like it. You just have to find the people that will like it.
And if you don't, you just make it for yourself anyway.
Exactly right, you know. But yeah, like if you're going for that exposure point, or you want to make something serious out of it, it's not about trying to break someone's arm and twist them into a half Nelson to be like, yeah, this is what it is. They don't like it, fucking cool. Just keep going hard, because the more you do, the more other people will see, you know. And like you said, do it for your own internal satisfaction anyway.
That's it. I think that's the most important thing, because so many younger people make stuff and they put it out there and it's not successful. They go, well, I didn't blow up. I'm not the next Central C or whatever they fucking aspire to be.
Well, like I was saying before, like,
right?
Yeah.
And that's when they lose the passion. But you don't do it for that.
That's for the wrong thing. They're chasing for the... And like I was saying, no one's ever successful being a fucking carbon copy or the second version of someone else too, you know? Like...
It's easy to say when you're an interesting original person, but some people aren't that interesting.
But you can make bland original. You can make not even bland. You can make Joe Blow interesting. You can make, you know, you just have to find the factors of yourself that differ away from everyone else and lean into those characteristics that are more diverse from everyone else. You know, like I've learned as I've progressed as an artist, I've putting more stuff into my bars about being from the country, talking about being from the sticks, because like, yeah, I've spent majority of my adult life in the city, but I'm drawing back to my country upbringing because it gives me more diversity, and it's not something that people are used to. They probably won't like it. It doesn't matter, but it draws a hard line between me and everyone else. Yeah. You know, and it's who I am. So it gives me an opportunity to put more of who I am into my music. And
authenticity.
If people, yeah, exactly right.
You've got to be yourself, because no one else can be yourself.
Exactly right.
Hashtag fucking quotes of the century here. We're just like...
Fucking
that's like a poster, like a...
Fucking
yeah, that's a...
Put that on a tattoo.
Yeah. No regrets.
Yeah, 100%.
Spike another one, man.
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
Shouts out to the boys in the cheap darts.
This is what happens, right? We've got lovely people here that are, you know, contributing to the conversation, which is great. But then we get sidetracked.
We get lost in it. Where were we at?
I don't know. That's my job.
That's right.
I've failed. I've only got one.
Yeah,
yes, that's right.
Thank you, Split. Yeah, so I don't know, like, and those were like the first, like the Posse Shot shows were the first like crazy shows that I'd done.
Come forward.
Yeah, those were like the first crazy shows that I'd done, you know. Man, and for those boys to be able to travel interstate and put nights on like that, it's like they've completely captivated the scene of, you know, street culture, graph, emceeing, you know, even in a sense of like, man, I've been at posse yacht gigs and they've got a b-boy, you know, breaking on the stage. Like, you know, it's iconic.
Yep.
And everyone's together. Like, they're crazy shows. People are moshing. People are hitting the deck, but the boys are picking them up. Everything's, you know.
Yeah, and I think Oz rap, Oz hip hop, went to levels that no one thought it could get to.
Yeah.
In the terms of popularity and gigs, but with those guys, they've shown how you can make it popular, but then still make it that sort of raw
and still
aspect.
kept it, and still kept it trad.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
The same thing. Like, man, 100%. And it's through that. I think it's purely through authenticity. Mm-hmm. It's through inclusiveness. Like, no one doesn't belong. If you feel like you belong, you belong.
Yeah.
And that's what Canna culture is about.
Yep.
It's for people that feel like they're a misfit. They reach out to stuff that, you know, they rebel. They find this culture.
We're all weird cunts together.
100%. Fucking know.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that is. No, and I think that those guys have reinvigorated the whole, that gritty side of it that is like, okay, this isn't the norm. This is not, I was going to say Channel 31. That's not the right thing. It isn't Channel V. No, that's not the right one either. Yeah. It's not Triple J. This is the more street side of music, but it's still, we're going to do it in the way that we're doing it.
That's right. And they did the same thing with City Loops, man. Mm-hmm. They basically built a project around, and it wasn't based around being like, all right, sweet as, we're putting a compilation album together and we're going to get the biggest hard hitters, the most iconic OGs on it. It was about putting on people that they knew were doing what they were doing. They knew what everyone else was doing.
Yep.
But they were shouting out the up-and-comers. They were putting the boys on there that were doing it that weren't as well known as everyone else. They didn't have that established, you know, track record prior to being on that, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's what it's about, you know. It's not about someone's track record, but yeah, you know, it's not who you are, it's what you are.
Yeah.
You know?
What you're about.
Yeah.
And those, they've definitely been forward thinkers like that and have proved to do it in a way that you like keep putting these people on, and they say it's about the art, and that gets lost a lot in what they do, I think, because they really care about that shit. Yeah, there's not too many groups that can do a Nike collab but then still stay true, you know? Yeah, that's hard, man. That's really hard.
Man. Bro, there's a massive commercial move and to stay true to, like, trad hip-hop, bro. Like, for sure. Like, no one... well, obviously, they're the only ones that have done it, and for good reason.
We've got Nike dollars. What do you want to do? Give us a tram.
Yeah.
Sure, you don't want to do, like, we're going to get, like, the Rialto Tower and you can do this stuff. No, give us a tram and we'll just get people to fucking take photos.
And someone crashed a car into the tram and they made merch out of it. Like,
that's good.
Yeah, bro, they know marketing too. Like, they're smart boys. You know, they didn't come down the last shower.
No, that's good. So when those guys wanted you involved and then working with your, I won't say idols, but people you looked up to.
Yeah.
That gives you a kick in the right direction. Yeah, for
sure, bro. 100%, man. Yeah, fucking like, because I knew, like, everyone knows a posse shop party's a fucking posse shop party. Like, you gotta, and like, it was something for me that pushed me to like step my live performance up to the next level. I was like, fuck yeah, righto. I've done a few little things. Well, not little things, but like, I've done a lot for like other people, but I know a posse shop party's a fucking posse shop party. I got to come with the energy.
You can win over some new fans quickly.
Exactly, man. And even like the same thing, I don't want to be the sore thumb sticking out, pacing back and forth, wrapping myself up in the mic cord, worried about fucking making sure I remember my ABCs. Like, I'm a part of this. All right, I'm making sure that I look like I belong. Yep. I'm making sure I got the skill set. I'm making sure I come and contribute productively to what these boys are doing for the night, you know? Uh-huh. And yeah, carried it forward into the rest of my performances, man. Like, made a massive difference, you know? Having that pressure. I got that pressure put on me and it worked for me, you know? It helped me.
And that's helped you move forward now, you know, that you got to bring that to all your live performances.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Like, I only had my first headline. I didn't want to go crazy putting on my own shows until I knew that it was going to be sort of financially viable. And I only just done my last one maybe a month ago. Man, we shut it down. Yeah, it was perfect. But like I said, it was those lessons brought forward from learning from those boys that know how to put on a good night, bring the energy, entertain a crowd,
You don't, yeah. There's nothing cool about everyone just sitting there nodding their head. Like, that's great to have that people, those chin stroking sort of punters. But if people are going to be there really digging it, that's a show.
For sure, man. Yeah, 100%, bro. And you got to be able to captivate people. That's what people pay for entertainment. You have to bring entertainment. As much as, some people might be interested in a spoken word poetry night, that's not where they're coming to a hip hop gig for. You got to bring energy.
Give the punters what they want, man.
Exactly right.
So now that you're in Melbourne and you're here now, you've been working with the Whisperers over there.
Yeah.
With Splitsies.
Yeah.
Tell us about what you're doing in Melbourne, man.
In Melbourne, man, honestly, like a whole lot, man. Like I'm working on a few different. I'm working on a pretty big catalog at the moment. I've got a lot on my plate. I'm working on an album with Don Vinyl. I've got that about half finished. Like I said, about to start work on a project with Taunts. All produced by Taunts.
Full length album or an EP or
EP, bro. Small project.
Is he rapping as well?
4 or 5 tracks. You might. You might see a little appearance.
Okay.
Yeah, which would be cool, man. Like I said, man, like Idol, and look up so much to that dude, man. Just blessed to be able to work with the dude, and like dope producer, man, and
nice dude,
to be able to cross into that lane with him, man, and have that relationship with him, and man, yeah, staying heavy with Split. Myself and Split are working on an EP together. Myself and Noise are also working on a collaboration project together. Honestly, man,
Splitsy.
Yeah.
Split figures.
Split figure. Man, split figure, man.
Split figure, just singular.
One figure.
Just one figure.
One digit.
One digit.
One man. But yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, me and Split are working on a project together. Also working on a project with Noise, just us two. Man, what Noise can do with production. Man, like I said, like my biggest inspiration is producers, ideally. And like when I hear production that really jumps to me, tracks write themselves, and it's interesting to see the likes of people like Coloured Noise, Don Vinyl, even Dill Thomas still going so hard, one of my favourite producers, Mus Volkov, like Pank Production, man, like people pushing the sound with production is what forces the sound of the country, and the likes of even like Sneezy, man, like all the people that I'm working with, man, I work with because that's what pushes me. Production's like the founding factor of like majority of my songs.
Yeah. A few of those names you mentioned are Melbourne based.
Yeah, man.
Not all of them are, but predominantly are.
Yeah, most definitely.
But
man,
so when you come here, are you like, all right, these dudes are from here. This is where I'm gonna fucking, this is where my sound's sort of coming from.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Most definitely. I consider my sound very Melbourne. Melbourne's my most listened city. It's more popular than home. But in saying that, a lot of those artists I haven't worked with. Not a lot, but like, the likes of like Dill Thomas, Mus Volkov, but like before I even rapped, man, I was fans of their production, some of my favourite tracks, man, the likes of like Dill Thomas produced Cartilage with Insidious, dope track, man, crazy production. I hope to in the future, hopefully they might be listening, but like in saying that, man, like, yeah, it's a big motivating factor when it comes to sound. I hear the sound of music, production, and I like to work with people. Even the likes of Coloured Noise, the way that he can, even if it's through interstate, because he's a Sydney boy, he can send me a beat, I can do my thing on it. And the way that he works post-production on a beat and then sends it back to me before we get a rough demo off that, man. Like the post-production, the way that he can build a beat around having lyrics put over his piece, it completely changes it, man. It shows like a whole nother level of depth to what people pay attention to detail. In my opinion, man, he's the best producer in the country at the moment.
Right.
Coloured Noise, by far.
And you've got him.
At this point, man, I don't know. I feel like he's pretty fast, so I don't know if I'll catch him. But if he runs, I'm gonna have to try and get a hold of him.
Is he here? Is he here in Melbourne at the moment?
I can't say too much, man. He's a bit of a recluse. I can't speak too much on noise. That's his thing to speak. But man, yeah,
all right.
we stay busy with the man.
Yeah, very busy. All right, as we get close to wrapping things up, is there anything you want to tell us that's coming up? You've sort of alluded to a few things, man.
Yeah.
What else can you tell us that's coming up from the world of Timos in the future without looking at people that are making weird gestures at us from over there to run to home base?
Honestly, man, ideally, I'm looking at putting on either a Sydney or Melbourne show towards the end of the year.
Sydney's interesting.
Sydney or Melbourne?
Why Sydney?
Because I feel like Melbourne's a little bit oversaturated, man.
Okay.
Because, like, Melbourne's a cultural epicenter. Melbourne's a big city for my listeners, but when it comes to, you know, lifestyle, I don't know. The way that I look at it is, man, there's something on every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And Tuesday sometimes. And Wednesdays.
Yeah, pretty well all week.
All the
exactly,
time,
man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a local, I can't say, but I know there's always something popping off of every night.
Yeah.
And I want to bring something somewhere where I know I've got a decent fan base. I can put on a good night and, you know, it's going to sort of stand out. I don't, like, it's not about the money. But I do, if I'm taking flights interstate, I want to be able to make sure I can put on a good night. I can put the money into it to provide a good venue and put on a good show with good sound for people. So I'm tossing up. It probably will be Melbourne.
Because Sydney
I'll do that with a lot of the local boys.
But no, there's more of a market here.
But yeah, man, that'll definitely be the move. It'll be one before the other. So I'll definitely do both. One will probably come late this year. The other will probably come in the new year. And then from there, hoping to go and see Adelaide in the aftermath of that, man. But other than that, just basically looking at working on these projects that I've prior mentioned, man. Like working with the boys that I'm working with, staying busy with the music. I don't know if I'm gonna I like staying pretty consistent with the releases. Whether I'm dropping a 5-track EP or I'm dropping a full project or whatnot, I like to keep a constant flow of music.
Yeah.
It's not fast food, but it comes fast because I work a lot.
Huh. That's good.
That's right. I tell you what, right now.
Have you got a video in the works, mate?
Yeah. What are we calling it again?
Oh, we're calling it Belly.
That's right. Hey, there's a track coming right now. Me and Split Figures and the man.
Split Figure.
I'm doing it on purpose now.
Split Figure.
Me and Spirita Figure. No. Sprit Figure. No, me and Sprit Figure.
Here he is.
Come with heat.
There you go.
We got a new single coming.
Noise production, Timos.
Produced by Noise. Yeah, Noise Production. Timos. Sprit Figure.
Split Figure. Yeah.
Nah, Split Figures, man.
Split Figure. It's like he's doing it.
No, 100%.
For the record, it's Split Figure.
Split Figure, yeah, 100%. I'm stirring him up. But look, we got a clip coming. It was meant to be for an already released track. It was meant to be for Relic, but look, the one we got coming, it's not a smart business move not to do this track. That's all I'm going to say. It's a fucking cracker.
Don't tell too much.
Exactly. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Let's not give away anything except the correct name of the people that are on it.
Yeah,
but yeah, all right. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah. Me and Stiff Figures.
Yeah. Shit Biscuits
Yeah.
and Timos have got a great name. They've got a thing coming out. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
No, man. No, definitely.
Yeah, Click Fingers and everyone's excited.
100%, man.
Shit
Yeah.
Stifler.
That's crazy.
Shit Stifler.
Ooh.
From American Pie.
I'm joking, I might run an alter ego.
Right, there you go. Shit Stifler
True.
and Timos and Coloured Noise.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah,
Right, okay.
man, crazy release. The whole single off EP, man. Like I said,
Man, you should write these down. They're all good rhyming words. Okay,
100%.
anyway.
Fucking hope. When I get back to battle rapping, fucking watch out, motherfucker.
Done, bro.
Oh, man, we're going to have some battles here. That'll be sick.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, well, Timos, it's been a great chat, man.
Nah, thank you for having me, man.
I appreciate it. I look forward to drinking a few more beers when we're not recording because that'll be more fun.
Sure, most definitely. Yeah, let's do it. 100%. Turn up that Queensland heat.
Cheers, man. Thanks for coming.
Nah, thank you for having me.
2000.